I'm Jana with Developing Mathematical Thinking, and today I want to share with you some ideas in the area of geometry and how we talk about shapes with young children, kindergarten, first, and even before that. And the shapes that I have up on the board are those typical pattern block shapes that come with a lot of our curricular resources in the schools. The orange square, I know these aren't colored, the green triangle, the yellow hexagon, the blue rhombus, and there's also a tan or brown rhombus in the set, and the red trapezoid. And so with these shapes, some of the misconceptions that have happened is if these are the only shapes that children are seeing, then they think every triangle looks like this, every trapezoid looks like this, every hexagon. And so after a couple of years, it's kind of hard to get past that hurdle. And hopefully you've noticed I've even drawn the triangle. I know I have a tendency to draw it on a base or on one of those sides that it's sitting flat, and to try to remind ourselves to introduce students to a different orientation of these shapes. So with the square, really getting kids to think about, I'm going to add another shape up here that we know as the rectangle, and really have that conversation about what's the same and what's different about that square and that rectangle. And with first graders, they even noticed that the corners, okay, those angles, that my students noticed, oh, if we put a square in a corner, those are the same. So we started talking about these as square angles or square corners. We don't have to get into the degrees at that point. A lot of resources talk about a rectangle as two short sides and two long sides. And we can almost come over to the trapezoid and say that fits. We have two longer sides and two short sides. So really focusing in on those angles or those corners is important. The other thing to talk about, and I know in a lot of resources it's not mentioned, but talking about parallel lines. So thinking about if we were to extend some lines that they never will cross or intersect. And with young children, we can think about railroad tracks, especially if they have access to seeing that or showing pictures. And then think about, oh, where do we see parallel lines here? With that trapezoid becomes very important. And again, talking about what's the same and what's different. We also want to notice that when thinking about rhombus, what's the same about the square and the rhombus, and that there's no diamond in geometry. We have diamonds in baseball and diamonds in trails, like hiking trails or biking trails. We have gems or jewels that are diamonds, but in geometry, we don't have a shape called a diamond. Coming back to this rectangle and this square, is a square a rectangle? And asking that question, again, what's the same, what's different, we get at that idea that a square is a special rectangle. It has those four sides, it has those four square angles or corners, but what makes it special is all those sides are the same. So I hope this has helped with how to talk about shapes and look at shapes beyond just what might be in our curricular resources. Thank you.